Oh, please. These two fools have asked me for the best potted meat recipe I have. Really? Okay. Go to the pantry, find all the potted meat cans that you have. Carefully, and follow me now. Carefully walk over to the trash bin and throw them away. Then order McDonald's, you unsophisticated pillock. Speaking of unsophisticated pillocks, this is Dave and Juan.
Everybody back
maybe, at it.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
Oh, we don't need another Max Headroom episode here. That's what we have for going back to evenings. We're doing this in the evening.
Nah, see, when everybody's using internet in Baton Rouge.
Oh man, Baton Rouge. Oh, before we go down that path. Hi everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You're too kind. We got work to do. Yeah. So we'll it may be an abbreviated version tonight if we or just close your
or to take longer as the stutters.
Close your eyes, folks. Just pretend that you're underwater. You're listening, right? Just be peaceful.
I'll sit like this and do this.
Let the dulcet tones of Juan Semino bask over you. Jeez, that sounds creepy. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. It is kind of,
Sorry, everybody.
I don't know.
Yeah. So how's your week? Doing all right?
Good, man. Busy, but busy's better than not, I guess.
Yeah. And that's what we tell ourselves. All right.
Yeah. That's a lie. I keep telling myself every day.
Yeah, I'm weird like that. Yeah. But look, most of us go from complaining to worried when it comes to work.
Mm-hmm.
When things are good, oh man, I'm swamped. Too much. Can't I? And then you go a couple of days and not a lot going on, and he's like, "Uh-oh, is it drying up?"
Yeah, it's half of my days at work are saying, "Jesus, I got nothing. I have no time to do anything but work."
Yeah.
But, then the reality is, well, that's what I'm getting paid to do.
But it always helps.
How fun is this?
Yeah, it always. But like I said, we've talked about this a couple of times. It always helps to go back and just think of the jobs you've had in the past. And I used to be one of my favorite things to do is with icebreakers or dinner conversation or things with even in some management sessions. Sometimes I talk to folks about what's the worst job. Who wants to share the worst job they ever had? And it's always good too because people bond over that.
It's the you think that's something.
Oh yeah, you'll be sitting with some very successful people that in their careers right now, and they've got stories of just these horrible jobs or these weird things we did for money back in the day when I don't know what happened. And I guess it's still out there. And again, I don't want to be the old guy that's complaining about this generation, that generation. My kids just have never seemed to be as needy as I apparently was.
Oh, wow.
And I don't even know that it's I never really asked for stuff. And I and to be honest, they really never have much themselves.
Well, but I think part of it is they're used to everything is instantaneous, instant gratification. I've got every bit of information here. Because we didn't have that, you had to be more, you couldn't get anything instantly when we were kids. So it was like, all right, dude, that's a year down the road. Okay, well, good. I got time to make $2 an hour, scrapping cane in a field.
Man, I remember when the Sears catalog would come out. You typically get
a highlight, man.
Ooh, so you had the Wish book that came out. That was the big one. But I think that one come out in the spring or the summer. I forget. It might have just been the big one. But I can remember. I'd mow grass.
At my house, it was you'd fight to see who got it first.
Well,
to get to look through it.
Yeah, I guess I was either up early enough or stayed up late enough. I can remember, man, I was going to buy me a canoe. I remember that. I'm living in Galliana. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no body water around me except the bayou. And there's no way in the world. I don't know why I thought I was going to buy me.
You could have canoed in the bayou.
gonna buy me a
Got run
canoe.
over by a shrimp boat.
Oh man, I don't know. I was gonna buy me a canoe, and I forget. Man, it was like $200, $300, and I'm making, I think, $15 a week mowing
Yeah,
grass.
man. Yeah.
I was pretty good with math. I remember I could do things I can remember. All right. I got about like $70 saved up. That's $70 back in
That was the day.
1975
That was money.
Yeah, oh man. I still remember the first time I got $100 in my I probably counted it 1,000 times, man. Just like 100. I am rich. I got $100.
You keep that bill. You don't want to spend it. Like
Huh?
Just feel it. Keep that $100 bill.
Oh, I didn't have a
You don't
$100
wanna
bill,
spend it.
man. I know I didn't. It was like fives and crumpled up ones, and I might have change thrown in there. But yeah, man, you hustled. But I can remember thinking, okay, how many yards I got to cut, and I'm thinking, okay, that's so if I'm doing, 4 weeks in a month, and all right, so that's
15 a week.
and I'm making
that's
60
carried
a
away.
month, and I don't have to spend any money. But then I was stupid because I was thinking like, well, and then, well, the grass, okay, winter's going to come, but the grass still kind of grows in the winter. So I'll probably still be able to make, well, I don't. You go.
Yeah, you always fool yourself as to how much you can work. And I can pick up another 4 yards.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I just do that. But yeah, I never did get the canoe, man. I don't know what, I don't know what became of that dream.
Dude, I can remember I guess I was a junior in high school. So 78-ish, graduated in 80.
Were the Waltons on TV back then? I mean,
I don't know. They might have been the real, might have been when they were living. So
good night, John boy.
I can remember sitting in class, true story, thinking, all right, this summer I'm going to go work on a pipeline in Alaska, and I'm going to make enough money to buy a brand new Trans Am, brown with a gold Firebird on the hood.
Dang.
And oh yeah. I just knew I could do it.
You
had no idea how.
What grade were you in?
Like 11th grade, a junior in high school.
You're gonna go work on a pipeline.
On a pipeline in Alaska just for the summer. I had no clue how I would have got there.
It's great to dream, man.
Yeah, my mom struggled to let me go to Thibodeau. So
Alaska might have been a stretch.
Alaska, maybe not.
Alaska might have been a stretch, man. Oh,
I had it all figured out. I could make this much money an hour over there, and
yeah. And then you get jobs later on and doing stuff. I can remember I never did it for money, but I went with a friend a couple of times. I had a friend who he made money trapping Nutria. Right? That's a nasty way to make a living, man. But they could make decent money back then. I had a cousin actually.
For the meat or the pelts?
For the pelts. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. There was a time, and I may be making this up, but I'm going to say it like I'm not making it up. I know
all about just the content. That's all that matters.
It's all how you sell it. I know I heard this coming up because somewhere along the way before, it might've been my dad. I think my dad may have told me this. So it's gospel. Because he was the king of, how do you know that? He just knew stuff. So before the coat manufacturers and stuff in America went to mostly fake everything, right? Mm-hmm. Fake fur. If you bought a coat in the Sears catalog or whatever, and it had any kind of fur on it, it's a good chance
it was neutral.
Yeah. It was a very, good. It was a good pelt for that. It was, and they could call it whatever you want. They didn't tell you, right? They probably let you believe, it's fake fox, it's fake mink. No, bro, it's a rat. It's a big freaking rat with
big old ugly yellow teeth.
Yeah. But I had one of my cousins that lived on the street that we eventually lived on. He did that for a long time, and I remember I was sort of fascinated, sort of grossed out a little bit. You go and he'd have a good day. I don't know, 10, 15.
And how do you trap a neutral?
Oh man. Yeah. It's like they just think of like a miniature bear trap. They just and you line them up on the along the banks of wherever you trap, and you look for holes and stuff. And it's probably it's not. It's when you're lucky.
Not the most humane thing.
Yeah, it ain't. It ain't.
But neither the neutral.
Well, no, they're not. That's the thing, right? There's nobody nobody had a lot of, but even back then I was the same way. I was like, man, I got less problems shooting them than I do trapping them, because then like when it was really, really cold, like a lot of times you trap them, they wouldn't make it. They'd be like, by the time you found them, they had already died. But when they weren't, they basically clubbed them is how you did it. You didn't, I'm sorry that this took, now here's the funny thing. People down the bayou, people down the bayou like, man, yeah, bro, that's, who has never clubbed a Nutria in their day? Or they say a Nutria. Why are you calling it a Nutria? That's not a Nutria, dude. That's a Nutra. We're going to trap some Nutras.
They're probably walking around with their club just in case.
Yeah. Well, but there were some bad hombres if you got, I mean, they're not, you'd be too if you were caught in a trap. But yeah, I did. Like I said, I would help just because I was fascinated by it, but I didn't know. I was mostly mowing lawns and whatever odd jobs.
I did. I had the lawn thing, but I did it with a bush hog. Like I cut a neighborhood. Like it was a lot of empty lots in it, so I would bush hog that.
Oh, you were industrial, man.
That's right. But, and I'd not watch where I was going and put the bush hog down on concrete utility blocks or whatever those were.
Nice.
And said, oh well, shouldn't have been there. Should have cut the grass sooner. I would have seen it. I also had a job that I may have talked about this before. I was in high school, and a friend of mine's dad owned like a welding contract company, and he hired me to be a helper.
Oh yeah.
And so I got to go do that for, I don't know, a couple of months. And it was miserable because you'd work 12 hours a day, and there was nobody, it was long for me at that point. And then because everybody knew that I knew the boss, they kind of took it easy on me, which meant I didn't have anything to do. So that's when, and I think this is what I've talked about before, I imagined I was in like the spitting Olympics, and I was on a catwalk 3 floors up, and I was target spitting from up there for hours on a day.
It's amazing you didn't get a lot of dates. We established that last week. I can't believe somebody didn't walk by and say, "Whoa, look at that guy."
Well, look, man, it was in a plant. Wasn't a lot of people who were dating material there for 16 years.
Especially good at expectorating. Name that movie.
Oh, no, I can't.
Oh man, that's Beauty and the Beast, bro. That's Disney's Beauty, and that's Gaston.
Yeah,
man, I know. I'm married to a Disney person. What can I say? I little bit too much of that, but yeah, I was thinking of some of the other weird jobs. I remember once my Aunt Mary, God bless her, because she would look for ways to give us money, because she was good. She was just nice that way. She'd find these odd jobs. I remember one time, these big old, and they only come. It's funny. It's almost like plague stuff that comes every now and then. But these big old furry jet black caterpillars. I don't know if you ever. Okay.
Yeah, those are the big stingers, huh?
I don't remember they had stingers, but I remember they would destroy whatever, all her plants and but they were hundreds. They just, it was like a play. I don't know what happened. So she was going to pay us. I remember she was going to pay me, I think 10 cents a piece. 10 cents a piece. And I was like, at first I'm thinking,
kill them?
Yeah, to catch them and kill them, But of course, here's the deal: you can't just mash them into one big ball, because then it's
right. That's what I was gonna say. Then it's how do you sort that out?
So you sort of got to catch them and show them, I guess, as it's going. But there were too many. She had to end up bumping me down to 5. She was very generous. But
too late.
We had to move to the nickel caterpillar after a while. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna get too many of those."
Yeah. I can't be giving you a quarter for that.
Yeah. She also hired me one time to paint her house. I was probably in high school, maybe, might have been in college. And it wasn't a big house, but it wasn't tiny, and it was all wood. It wasn't a brick on that thing. So it was like, and man, I was ambitious, but you ever painted a house by yourself?
I painted my houses by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I remember. And it was good money. But I remember halfway through feeling like Tom Sawyer, like I got to hire somebody to come
Oh, yeah. In. No, it's rough. I always tell people.
I got to sub this out, man. This thing lost, even daydreaming about the money I was making wasn't helping after a while.
No.
I was like,
The first time I painted my house, I tell people, I said I got 80% done in the first weekend. The last 20% took me about 2 years. Because the novelty and excitement of getting it done wore off in about an hour and a half.
Well,
but again, I'm lazier, or I'm cheaper than I am lazy. So
I think we said this once too. I tell anybody, if you buy a house or whatever you move into, wherever you go, whatever you're going to fix or whatever you're going to change, you best do that quick, because you adapt and adjust and get used to stuff that, right? We've done that. I think we've done that in probably every house we've bought, where it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna, I know we don't like that. I know that looks terrible. We're not, oh yeah, no, we're gonna tear that out and do it. And then, 5 years later, you're like, it's not that bad.
See, when we started doing the podcast was when I was doing the floors.
Oh yeah.
Right here. I'm finished putting the floor down. But if I would turn the camera around, you could see that there's no shoe molding.
Oh, nobody
along the baseboard. So
the house my mom's in was almost 2 years, and I'm not saying anything. It's my brother-in-laws and a few folks they put the floors down, and they did. And look, they did, and that's a big. It's a big house.
Yeah,
that's a lot of floor put down. But yeah, it's one of those things. That's the last thing, right? And there's still like half the house. It's down, but it's not nailed anywhere.
Yeah, we can sweep under it that way.
And one of these days, yeah, no. And when I go down there, mom's like, "Well, Dave, you think maybe one time y'all can maybe attach them, attach them more?" Yeah, I think I'll get on that.
I like it when I get going, because I like using the nail gun for whatever reason, and but it's the up and down measuring, and it's like, dang it, I'm off by 16th of an inch. That's screwing the whole thing up now, and.
In my kitchen right now, I shouldn't say this because it's going to remind my wife, and she's going to get on me on this, but we had to have 6 months ago or so, we had to have the dishwasher replaced. And I guess the last one so we've been in this house almost 20 years. So this is probably our third one, maybe. So I don't know. The last one we got apparently fit fine. This one, not supposed to be the same size, but not so much. So to get it in, I had to remove a piece of trim on the beneath the counter.
Uh-huh.
Now it's not it's like it's possible to miss it. That's what happens. I don't even notice it anymore. But and it was a big piece of trim, but I can't put it back. So it would probably, if I knew what I was doing or remembered or I was motivated, it would take half an hour to get this job done. For 6 months now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the biggest mistake I made is I moved the piece of wood into the garage, because I had it laying in like the utility room for a while.
It was ready. Now
it was in the way. So yeah, we might have had something going on. So I just put it in the garage. Oh, now it's out of sight. Out of mind. We'll sell this house somewhere down the line. Maybe somebody say, "Well, what happened to the trim?"
It wasn't there when we bought it.
They brought it in the garage.
Yeah.
15 years, it was okay.
Yeah. Well, we sold a house one time, and like a week after we sold it, the lady who bought it would call me at work. And again, we use real estate agent stuff, so I don't even know how she got my number.
Bad real estate agent. Don't call me. It's what I pay. That's why you got your 6%.
Yeah. It's the outlet on the patio doesn't work. I said, yeah, doesn't. And the deadbolt on the back door doesn't lock good. I said, nah, it doesn't. So, and it's like, well, you own the house. You paid something. Call your inspector. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, the house was inspected. I'm sure it showed up on
Yeah. You wanted it fixed. You should ask them, but I'm not coming back now.
Depending on who the inspector is too, man. You ever want to like catch some of the inspectors and say, man, I want to go to your house?
I think they've just got a list that is just check.
I want to go to your house.
Yeah.
And
caulking cracked 500 feet in the air. Yeah. Yep, it is.
But whenever you sell a house, and I don't think we're selling. I hope we don't have any plans to. But it's always we've done it a few times, and it's always by the time you get a house ready to sell, you're like, dang, We should have done some of this stuff before, man. Look how nice.
Yeah, this is good. Why am I doing this now?
Your house is never more livable and nice.
Yeah.
Or you hide all the junk, right?
Yeah,
You find a place to stash
you
all
get
the
it
junk.
out. You got more room than you thought you had.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I got
And then
this
you put
storage
on
unit,
and
but
all
I
the
got
crap you hide and you put in your new place. You get to the new place, you're like, man, this place ain't as big as I thought it was. First
that, or whenever we'd have a party, we had like a Christmas party or something at the house, and it became immaculate because for some reason we had to clean it for other people, not yourself.
Well, I just joke about that, and it doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen much anymore because my wife's mom, she lives part-time, at least half the year up here, so we see her all the time.
Mhm.
It used to be. It was a joke. It was sort of a joke that I don't think anybody really liked, but I always said it. And I was telling my in-laws that I ain't leaving your daughter, but if I ever do, she's gonna have company because it's gonna be on one of the trips y'all coming up here. Because there was nothing more miserable in my house than the day or two before we got a visitor. Oh man. Because when you're having that debate, hey, look, I want a clean house. I want to help, but they're our family. Like we don't have to put on airs. Like, you would think she'd be clean, but it's okay if everything's not. It don't have to be a showroom, right? Some visitors probably showed up and saying, "Man, David Cindy must have a housekeeper or something, man. It's everything's tidy." No.
Now, I see today.
That was 2 days of screaming. That was 2 days.
My daughter's off for fall break, and so my mother-in-law came over to pick her up to bring her to swim practice. And I was conscious of that when I left the house this morning because I said, "Oh, this is dragging. She's gonna say something about it, or you're just little snide remarks down."
Oh, really?
So,
no, we don't. We don't get any of that.
And not real. She doesn't mean anything by it, but it's like, all right, I'll spend 5 minutes picking this stuff up, so just in case I don't have to deal with it.
We're talking about jobs and weird jobs and silly stuff. I was on a job one time. This is what you learn these lessons. They don't teach you you never have these in business school, where the real world, when you're working for companies sometimes and you realize people are going to get away with what they can get away with. And and so I was working for this company just for a while, and I wasn't supposed to be on this. So anyway, they did some electronic type of work, and they had a contract with it was either Shell or Shell. It was a pretty big operation in New Orleans, big office building, and they would do telecommunications kind of work and fixing stuff and running wires and everything. And they just ran out. I guess times were busy. They ran out of time one day. They ran out of people. Dude, I am not a technician. Never. That's not what I do. And I was told, "Yeah, man, we need you to be the helper today. Get on out there." And they were charging like $40 an hour for me to be out there, like as the helper.
They weren't paying you 40 an hour.
Yeah. So we get out to this place, and the guy I was with's a cool guy. And I think it was Emmett. I think this guy's name was Emmett. And he was like I said, he was cool. I think it was him. There were a bunch of cool guys there. But we get to where we're going, and he's looking for something for me to do. Because I am like, dude, I am not a technician. I can't do anything. So he pulls out this. I can't even. It's hard for me to describe what it was, but it was. We had a bunch of wires, like 14 wires or 14 pair. I don't know what it was. All these different colors, and it was plugging them in. Dude, I can't even describe to you what I was supposed to be doing. And so he goes through it, and they do this all the time. And he's just explaining to me, like, and I don't think I'm a dumb guy, but it's like one of those things. Like, everybody's an idiot in certain things. I'm apparently an idiot when it comes to these things. And that was a good time for me to point out to him, bro, I'm partially colorblind. I just am. There's certain colors I just can't. Not a lot, but there's some I can't. I have trouble.
Can't see the brown and the blue wires.
With me, it's mostly brown, like brownish and reds and something else. But I've taken the test. It literally is like, I don't notice it, but because like I said, I can see most every color, but there are certain colors that I just can't.
Yeah, certain shades.
Well, guess what? When you got 14, whatever many pair,
there's shades.
And I can remember he was sitting there. He's just shaking his head. He's like, I can't believe they sent me an assistant, a colorblind assistant. We spent like 8 hours that day.
Bro, what color is this?
Oh, And then, I remember one point he had work to do, and he was just like, "Dude, just try, just give it."
Yeah, and step away when I flip the power on.
Yeah, what to say? I don't know. But I kept thinking in my head, man, this company is paying $40 an hour for me to sit here and screw up whatever it is I'm
right,
screwing up.
and cause the other guy to work longer.
He got a little less accomplished than that, but hey, we got a 6-pack on the way in, so it was all good. It was all we got a 6-pack on the way in and complained about work the whole time, right? That's what you
and thus life continues.
That's it. That's it. What you gonna do? Complain.
That's it, bro. It's because what I can do. My son called me yesterday. He's got his internship at the Mercedes assembly plant,
right?
And he works on the IT side, and some of the big bosses were in from somewhere else, and he was meeting with one of them. And he called me at lunchtime. He said, "Hey, this guy said, let's take a break and go to lunch." And it's a big plant, so there's a cafeteria there. And he says, "Am I supposed to go with him?" I said, "Well, it sounds like he said, let's go to lunch." Yeah. And he grabbed a couple other people, but it's all like big dogs. Yeah. I said, "Well, then, yeah, you go with them."
You go. Yeah. Go.
I said, you'll be better off looking awkward when they don't want you than not showing up and they wonder what the heck happened to you.
If you really want to freak them out, offer to pay.
Just get the salad.
I got not the Caesar. Don't be putting proteins on there.
That's right. No chicken, no shrimp, nothing. Just lettuce.
I still remember the first time at a restaurant he said that. Like, would you, what wanted me to choose my protein, or what kind of protein you was? What?
Yeah.
Protein. That's a non-appetizing way to call chicken. I don't even call it protein. Call it chicken. Throw some chicken on there. Chicken used to be the cheap way out. It ain't no more.
Well, I worked for a company or an ad agency that I worked for not too long ago. One of our clients was in the packaged food business, and we were meeting with them, and they were talking about the protein, and I'm like, what are you talking about, the protein? And they made gumbo and stuff, and it's like, they're putting the protein, all the cost is in the protein. All right. You got like powder or something you're throwing in there?
You'll put peanut butter in there?
Oh, like shrimp and stuff. Chicken. All right. Whatever.
Expensive proteins.
Yeah. Well, I don't think theirs was that expensive.
Is what it is. I was with my son the other day would something for lunch, because he goes to work and he's cheap. He's you'd like the way he thinks. He spends a lot of money on various things. Like it's always a game. We've got UPS sitting outside all the time, Amazon truck or UPS all the time, and it's either him or my wife. Now my wife tends to be stuff we need. My son, it's always, the heck is that?
Generally, when we're doing the podcast, I see emails pop up from Amazon orders that are being made while I'm sitting up here.
There you go. Well. So my son will do that, right? He spends a lot of money on that, but he's cheap on some things, So it's like, if it's a matter of bringing lunch from home, he'd rather sit in his truck at lunch and eat a sandwich or whatever than spend a few dollars on.
Hey man, that'll save him a lot of money in life. You can get in that habit,
especially when Pop's the one that's paying for all the stuff, right? I mean, and he was doing something the other day, and I forget what it was, and he basically, I forget what he said. It was one of the sandwiches was, I don't know, it was cold. It was some kind of cold cuts. It was roast beef. No, it's roast beef sandwich. And he said something about that's lunch meat. I'm like, whoa. That's
you don't know what lunch meat is.
That's the bayou coming out, man. No. Bruh, roast beef. That roast beef came from the same cow. That's not lunch meat. Lunch meat, that comes from all over the place, man.
Yeah, all the extra parts.
That's like Vienna sausage. That didn't even come from Vienna sausage didn't even come from the same state. Like
it's like sliced, nasty, packed together.
Oh, it's good stuff though, man. I tell you what, it's so bad. I joke with my mom.
Dude, I used to eat lunch meat, like fried lunch meat sandwiches, dude. That was good. The edges would curl up. Same thing with fried bologna.
Yeah, we were always, and for whatever reason, it must have been well, it's probably my dad or my mom. We ate it. They would buy, our thing was luncheon meat, right? There was something just called luncheon
Yeah.
square. And it
Mhm.
had, I can't even remember the texture of it, but it's like, I like, we never got bologna. Somebody in my family must not have liked bologna because you were never
It's
having multiple. You
yeah, I'm
you were
not
never
and
going
I
to walk to
mean
the fridge and have more than one option. It was right.
it's luncheon meat is, I guess, in quality, probably the equivalent of bologna. Just all pieces and parts mashed together, and maybe a little nastier. I mean, and I say nastier. I've eaten them both.
Sure.
I think luncheon meat's kind of got a little, almost a gelatinous feel
There
on
you
it.
go. There you go.
So,
Yeah. So, man, I tell you what, I can't tell you how many lunch meats. I guess it was technically luncheon meat, but we're Cajun. We call it lunch meat. Well,
good lunch meat.
how many lunch meat sandwiches I had growing up. And, but yeah, but I mean, look, to this day, potty meat. That's the go-to.
My
I,
dad eats
I
pot.
haven't had pot. No, I haven't had potted meat in years. But I mean, dude, I would have no issue. Like in other words, that's what you got. All right. Like if I showed up at your house and you said, "Hey, you want a potted meat sandwich?" You know what? I wasn't thinking about it when I walked in, but I'll be dang.
But now that you mention it, I am kind of hungry.
Matter of fact, I could go for a potted meat sandwich right now. Yeah.
Make it two.
Oh man, double layer that thing. Oh man, that and yeah, Vienna sausage. My mom, I joke with it. So for the storm, they came through. Is it a month now? It's over a month, I guess.
Over a month, yeah, almost
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Oh, people are still. I read yesterday that still some people getting hooked. I mean, most of the power's back on, and even that, right? People's houses are still messed up, but there's still some people that are waiting for hookups. But when we brought a bunch of supplies down to South Louisiana, one of the things I just randomly, I was in Sam's here, I just grabbed a big old, case of Vienna sausage, thinking that would be, that's last, right? That you just put that's so nobody starves, right? That's the
right. Got shelf life forever.
Not in my mom's house, it don't. She got good food. You got people cooking in there. I mean, but half the time, Mom, what every now and then I remember I say, what you ate today, Mom? Well, it's a lot of times it's a pretty good lunch. And that's a pot of meat tonight, or that Vienna sausage. I like Vienna sausage. We all like Vienna sausage,
I used
Mom.
to have Vienna sausage.
It's not
sandwiches.
good for you, huh?
After school, that was one of our after school snacks, Vienna sausage sandwiches. You'd slice them in half so they don't roll off the bread. Throw a little mayo on there, man.
Ugh. Now, what is it about mayo? I didn't acquire a taste for mayo till much later in life. And again, I think it's how you grow up. I don't think we put mayo on very many things. With us, it was mustard. We put mustard on everything.
Yeah, I'm a mayo guy. But my parents called it mayonnaise.
Sure, as they should. That's what it is. I don't know that. I don't know that I ever got trained out of that. I'm trying to think when I say. I think we just call it mayo.
I call it mayo now because I went to Subway the other day just because I was tasting that mayo in my mind. And so I said, with mayo, and then I sat down and had tomatoes on it as opposed to mayo. And I said, I didn't say mayo, maters. I said
maters. Put some maters on there.
So did you expectations?
Did you go back to the sandwich artist and
no, I just picked it off. No,
so wait, you ate in the Subway?
Yeah.
That seems kind of depressing, man.
It is by yourself. Yeah. But you get free refills.
Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not really judging. I'm just thinking, I don't remember the last time I ate in a fast food place by myself. Heck, I don't remember the last time I ate in a fast food place with anybody. I just don't, I mean, and it's not, I'm nothing against fast food. I eat a bunch of fast food in my day, but I shouldn't say that because I am fast food would be a step up from what I on some days. It drives my wife crazy. It does because I'm really pretty simple with some days, dude. I can get through to like nighttime sometimes where I had a bunch of coffee and a tablespoon of peanut butter. I mean, that was my day. Right? Just a tablespoon of peanut butter is enough to like make me and
get you over the hump.
Yeah, and then I eat bad at night. That's my problem. You know, they always say like don't eat after whatever dinner time. That's
4 o'clock.
when I do all the. That's when I do.
Yeah,
Man, my
that's right. That's how I do some of my best eating.
that's right. Like back in the old days, we joke about be on the road and everything or doing whatever, and you get these you always have to take these quizzes about you may have a drinking problem or you may have a whatever if. And one of the things on there was always, do you ever drink alone? And that was a running joke. Is like, man, prefer it. What are you talking about? What are you? There's
nothing have to share.
Nothing better in the world than just like, man, nobody talking at you and you just drink a beer and yeah. What, I'm supposed to go find a friend to do this? Like I can't. Right? No, technically, I'm having a beer with my cat. It's
not yeah. There's people here. They're just not around. Spirits.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. But we were talking again on food, and somebody it was either on Facebook or something, or something online where it was these memes that go around. It was a Pizza Hut, and they were doing a shout out to like back in the I think I even saved it here. I'd seen it before, but for some reason it struck me today when I looked at it. It was a picture of remember when Pizza Hut pan pizzas were basically a culinary delicacy?
Pizza Hut was like high end.
Dude, and this is what it says. They'd bring them out in a real freaking skillet that was piping at 700 degrees Fahrenheit, right as your third song kicked. Yes, as your third song kicked in on the jukebox after you played a game of Galaga. We were royalty.
Had a salad bar.
Dude, you think about that.
Roof.
And the salad bar had that fluorescent orange French dressing or whatever that was. You remember that? There was no color.
Nothing that's natural.
There was no color in nature that was that. Like
Even
that was
a colorblind guy recognized that.
Bro, that was out of a crayon box. That color, I don't know. That was right now to this day, if you tell somebody, describe a color, that's Pizza Hut French dressing orange. They'd be exactly brings the taste to your mouth, man.
See, maybe it's a nostalgia thing. For a long time, they didn't have Pizza Huts around here. And then a few years back, they started showing up again. And I see the commercials and it's like, man, I'm going to get some Pizza Hut. But then you get it and it's like, why in the hell did I get this?
Well, everything messed up when they started having to try to do healthy things.
Yeah.
And people,
that's the problem with the whole world.
That's a problem with the world, man. Just enjoy it. Don't eat it every day. Yeah. There was nothing in the day that was better than a McDonald's fry. Now, people to this day still say, "Oh, McDonald's fries," but I'm telling you, man, they're a pale comparison to what they were 20 years ago. McDonald's fries used to be truly addictive. Now, they're healthy. We got to take the trans fats and whatever. Got news for you.
Cardboard.
Yeah, nobody's, and I know the reasons they do it. Same thing with the Big Mac. There was nothing, man, Big Macs were great. Last Big Mac I had, I was like, I'm either getting something's changed, either this burger or me. Something's changed. And it's not me because I will eat junk. It drives my wife crazy. I will just throw, yeah, it's good. I'm good with that. You eat chili out of a can? I like chili out of a can.
Oh, man, that's the best.
I'll pop a
can of Hormel, man. I'm in heaven.
You know what I did the other day? I laughed. I almost took a picture of it. I should have for you. We were joking before about chili Fritos. And I had a can of chili. I opened a can of chili. I was like, man, I ain't got no Fritos. So I substituted some Cheetos in there.
Hey, so, man, that'll work.
I had a bowl of chili Cheetos.
Chili Cheetos. Chili and cheese.
It was okay. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I ate it all. But yeah, no, corn chips. It's another corn chips. Corn chips, it's a little bit more complimentary on the palate there.
Man, you can get some good chili Fritos at Dairy Inn in Napoleonville. They got the best chili in the world there.
Really?
Yeah. Right there on the bike.
I'll make a list. I'll get down there. I just want to find. I saw something the other day online, or where I wasn't driving. A Pizza Hut, like an authentic, or some small town, an authentic Pizza Hut. Now, I would love to see if they're still out there. Like, I'm sure they kind of are. Around here, it's the little bitty hybrid it's a wing place, it's a Pizza
Yeah, that's
Hut,
what they have here mostly. It's like, I think most of them are either takeout or just delivery. I don't know if you can eat in them, but there is one near here, next door to my favorite Waffle House. Um, it's the original building because it's got the roof. It's
Oh
painted
yeah,
a different color.
dude.
But I think it's an Indian restaurant or something now.
Oh well, it's not. No, man, that was the best. And when you got old enough to do it, the pitchers of beer.
Yeah,
Nobody does
I
anybody
forgot
do
about
that? Does
that.
anybody do that anymore? Anybody?
I don't know. I
Can
don't
you
even.
get? Can you literally get a pitcher of beer anywhere? That used to be like that was the go-to move everywhere you went with
I don't
friends,
know.
and that was the best.
I
Mr.
There are some
Gaddy's.
places. Oh God, Mr. Gaddy's was the deal. I can remember in high school we'd go to some kind of, I don't know what camp it was, like for a couple of days at LSU, and the whole reason you went was so you could go to Mr. Gaddy's on campus and watch the big screen TV.
I do remember that, man. And
Mm-hmm.
you remember Godfathers?
Uh-huh.
Godfathers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Godfather's right by there.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know. We go back now and we probably be like, man, I can't believe we were impressed with this. But
It was all based on comparison.
Man, back in the day, I
Right?
still remember
Chef Boyardee pizza was all you had.
being honest. And it's like, but I mean, I'm glad we were raised honest and we didn't know, because I used to, because Pizza Hut was a big deal growing up. You didn't eat it. And that was an event. I mean, we didn't eat, I can probably count on one hand how many times the family went out to Pizza Hut. Right. But my Aunt Doris was the manager of the Pizza Hut in I guess it's Galliano or Cutoff, which I guess it's Cutoff. And she managed that thing for years and years and years and years. And she lived on our street. And back in the day, when people call in orders and stuff, they took, we were much more trusting back in the day. There were no credit cards to give and this stuff. So people would order stuff and sometimes not pick it up. And a lot of times she would bring it. She was the best. I loved her. There was nothing light up your evening better than, phone rings. It's
An unexpected free Pizza
Aunt
Hut.
Doris. Babe, somebody ordered a large pepperoni pizza there. Y'all want it? Our houses were probably, less than 100 yards away from each other. I was probably there before she hung up the phone. Like, you kidding me?
Wait, somebody's at the door.
Want it. Yeah. And I never thought, being honest, I could have had pizza several times a week. I could have just called in orders
and got the kind exactly what you wanted.
You're not going to believe this. Somebody called in the same.
Oh, that's my favorite.
No, she was smarter than that. But that was nothing would light up your evening more than when Aunt Doris came back from the Pizza Hut with an extra. And the cooler thing, and to this day, I think about this. So at one point, the Pizza Hut changed out their equipment, and they had to put a new ice machine in there. And Pizza Hut had the best ice. You remember Pizza Hut had it was like the crushed,
like the Sonic ice.
Yeah, I guess it was, but I mean, the kind you could just chew it. It was just right. It was the best.
Yeah.
It was dang near snowball level ice. Okay,
Wow,
it was in fact better. I mean, so they changed out the equipment at the Pizza Hut, and she's the manager, and then she's asked, what are you doing with the other
ice machine?
They were just going to throw it in the dump. They're literally going to trash it. And she's like, no. So they set it up under their carport at home. And I guess they ran water out there to it. And she was always like, oh yeah, when you need some ice, come get some ice. And then my mom be like, okay. Man, I'd come home from
pick up the extra pizza and the bag of ice.
I'd walk home from Aunt Do Friends with a 6-pack of the Cokes used to come in the hard bottles, the glass bottles that you could return. Oh yeah, man. One of those. Stop and get some ice by Aunt Doris. Cross my fingers that somebody orders a pizza and doesn't pick it up tonight.
A night made for a king.
Man, we were kings.
Yeah.
We were kings.
We used to, this is, I guess, early in college. A couple of times I did a pig roast at my house, at my parents' house, just a party. And it
Hang on.
started because
Hang on. A pig roast or a boucherie?
a pig roast.
Okay.
No, it was
here's how I'll define it.
I think it's a couche de lait.
Did you kill the pig in front of them? Did you kill the pig there?
The day before we cooked it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, like I don't know what the rules are on that.
Yeah.
You know, boucheries. Man, I stayed a mile away from I didn't want any part.
I couldn't eat it when we did it. I don't know why. But
take away my Cajun card, man. I do not want to be within a mile of a boucherie. All right, I'm sorry. So you did a pig roast?
No, I caught the pig at a little school fair. It was like a grease pig chase. So I caught one. And so yeah, I don't know.
Yay, I've got a new home.
Yeah, I brought it home, and so we paid some people to clean it for us, or to put the I guess to kill the pig, and kind of clean it. And basically we paid them the head, the insides, the blood, and the feet.
That's illegal, by the way. That blood, what they made, what they call it, blood
sausage, I think.
Blood sausage and blood gumbo, blood. They make. I
don't know. I didn't.
And I honestly think I think that part's illegal. Hey, I think the statute of limitations have run out on that. I got but
I didn't. That was some other people. I didn't do it. I was just there.
We went from.
But this guy he was like a dead on shot.
It's hot luck. It's how it happens. We don't want to see it. It's
made for a good party because it takes 15 hours to cook a pig on an open flame in your backyard. But I couldn't eat it.
Oh geez, those that are still awake and standing at the end. Hey, y'all can eat. No, I can.
I just drank a keg and a half of beer. I don't need any. I'm good.
I'm fine. It's all good.
The rest of you guys have some.
You can have some of that blood sausage or the hog's head cheese. And I know it's not. I don't even know. I know my dad loved hog's head cheese, and dude, I can't get around the name. You know what I'm saying? It may be the best stuff in the world. I just can't get around the name.
The thought that you take the feet to use the hoofs to make the gel of the cheese or whatever. It's like, nope.
Of course,
hard pass.
Of course, I'm talking about, man, I eat some potted meat all the time, bro. we act like potted meat's any better just because it's in a can from Hormel.
in the luncheon meat with the gelatinous coating on it.
And it's about that time.
Right, I got to go downstairs and get my wife off of Amazon.
Yeah, go cut off the money spending there, and we'll just call this the culinary.
Yeah,
I'm not hungry though. I'm not hungry after this conversation, but it's that time.
Whip me up some Vienna sausage. It's that time.
I'm going to fry me up some stuff right now. So, hey, that time of the week, we push the button, see if any of this stuff stuck to tape. Hope it did. And we invite you to reach out to us. If you don't want to do it on social media, you can hit us direct. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. There is a veritable plethora of platforms that
everywhere you can imagine.
Would you say I have a plethora?
A plethora, a myriad.
Do you know what a plethora is? Was that my Three Amigos, right? Would you say I have a plethora? Yes, you have a plethora.
They got a lot of places where you could hear this.
Okay, bro. What's some of the places you can hear it?
You can hear it and watch it on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, and when you do, click the little bell so you get that alert when we post every week.
Get that little shake in Juan's voice when he does it too. All right.
All right. And also the podcast is pretty much everywhere and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio Podcast, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Listen Notes, Podbay, Pandora, and recently Facebook added a podcast function to it, so you could catch the podcast from the Facebook channel as well.
Is it the audio? I think something popped up, like the audio.
It's just the audio.
You go. Yeah. That popped up today. I went, there you go.
Yeah, but I learned, I think it just started posting today.
You're welcome,
that
Facebook.
the ampersand on Facebook or whatever
That's an ampersand for those he cut out when he said that. It's the ampersand.
Ampersand. It doesn't, Facebook, whatever algorithm, or doesn't read that. So anywhere you see the little ampersand followed by what is it? AND or AMP semicolon, that's Facebook, not me. So I'm not a great typist, as Dave can attest to, or a great speller, but I'm not that bad.
Or a driver.
I'm a great driver. I called that girl who I mentioned last week, by the way, or I sent her a note.
Oh man!
I said, I just want to let you know in case you're mad.
We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, and I did a grab of that segment and sent it to her. It had already posted, so
there you go.
I wasn't offering anything, but yeah.
You're welcome. Hey, what can I say? When do you want to do this again?
Monday at 7 usually works for me.
Try to get a better connection. Maybe we'll try like 7:15 when they stop watching the TV or something. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, man. I'm calling AT&T and see what the heck's going on.
Hey, first world
I got
problems.
my fiber optics over here, bro. I don't know what the problem is.
You got fiber optics cutting out like that?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. 100 MBS.
Check the oil on that, man. Jeez. All right, everybody. Hey, have as great a week as you possibly can. You too, buddy. Love you, man.
Back at you, man.
Peace.
And so I have a picture somewhere of like 3 of them holding the open pig, and one of them's is holding the head. But the one holding the head is, I guess he thought the camera only took pictures about, that big. So he's bending down into it, like to make sure he's in the picture.
I got the head. Yeah. Don't like that. Jeez. All right.